Hello, Math Explorers. Welcome to our deep dive into partial derivatives. Most videos show you abstract formulas that seem to come from nowhere. In this video, we want to show something different, the physical reality of standing on a mountain ridge and feeling the slope beneath your feet in two distinct directions. Building on our previous talk about derivatives, where we measured the steepness of a single trail, we now face a whole terrain where every step depends on which way you turn. In the world of single variables, we only had one way to move, forward or backward. But in a multivariable landscape, our height depends on both our east-west position and our north-south position. We can imagine the floor as a grid where every point tells the mountain exactly how high it should be at that specific location. To understand change here, we need to look at how height reacts when we nudge ourselves across this grid. The secret to mastering this complexity is a trick called freezing. Imagine if we could stop time for one direction. If we fix our north-south position, we effectively turn the mountain into a single trail that only goes east and west. By holding one variable constant, we simplify the entire three-dimensional world back into the familiar two-dimensional calculus we already know. This slice represents our path when only one thing changes. Think of it like a hiker walking only along the east-west ridge. The steepness they feel right now is the partial derivative with respect to the horizontal axis. It tells us the rate at which the mountain's height changes for every small step we take east, while our north-south position remains perfectly still. In our mountain analogy, this is the slope of the trail that runs exactly parallel to the east-west axis. But what if we decide to walk north instead? We simply freeze our east-west position and slice the mountain in the perpendicular direction. This gives us a new curve and a new slope. This is the partial derivative with respect to the vertical axis. It measures how sensitive our height is to changes in our north-south movement. Just like before, we treat the other variable as if it were a fixed constant, like a wall we cannot cross. In the language of math, we use a special curly letter to distinguish these from regular derivatives. When you see the partial of the function with respect to x, it is a signal. It tells you to treat the variable y as a plain old number like 5 or 10. This notation is just a shorthand for our mountain slice. It reminds us that we are only looking at one specific direction of change while ignoring the rest of the world. A partial derivative is essentially a sensitivity meter. If the partial with respect to east is a large number, it means a tiny step east results in a massive change in height. Think of it like a steep cliff face. If the value is 0, you are standing on a flat plateau in that direction. By calculating these values, we can pinpoint exactly which input has the most dramatic influence on our current state on the mountain ridge. When you actually calculate a partial derivative, the most important rule is to be ruthless with constants. If you are differentiating with respect to x, every term that only contains y is treated like a static rock. It doesn't change as you move east, so its rate of change is 0. This simplifies even the most complex-looking equations into basic single-variable problems that you already know how to solve from your first calculus lessons. Let's apply this to something practical, like the price of a house. The price depends on many things, like square footage and the number of bedrooms. A partial derivative with respect to square footage tells us how much the price increases for every extra square foot, assuming the number of bedrooms stays exactly the same. It isolates the value of space itself, separate from the layout of the home. This is how we analyze complex systems one piece at a time. Remember that these slopes are local. Just because the mountain is flat where you are standing doesn't mean it stays flat a mile away. As our hiker moves across the terrain, both the east-west slope and the north-south slope are constantly updating. At any single point, we have two distinct numbers that describe the ground beneath us. These two numbers are the building blocks for understanding the entire geometry of the surface. The word partial is chosen for a reason. Each derivative only gives you a part of the story. Like looking through a narrow slit, you can see how things change in one direction, but you are blind to the others. It is only when we combine these partial insights that we can begin to see the full picture of how a multivariable function behaves. We have taken the first step in mapping out the entire landscape of change. We have learned how to measure the slope if we are forced to walk east or north. But what if the coordinates themselves are shifting, or the ground is moving beneath our feet? That requires us to track how change flows through a sequence of steps, connecting many layers of functions. In our next video, we will master the chain rule, the engine that lets us calculate deep, nested rates of change in complex systems. So, follow the series to see how the chain rule handles nested layers of change next.